Good evening and welcome to Scrapbooking with a Twist. We are going to start on our base pages. I should have already had them finished, but well, I don't. So we're going to start on them tonight. I wish I had them finished, but I don't. So I'm going to try to do 3 tonight. This first one, and I'm using a lot of scraps. That's what I love about base pages. I am going to use a full sheet. This is kind of a textured, just cream color. But this is part of a page, and I think I'm just going to use the whole thing, either that or I may go back and cut. I'll probably just go back and cut the bottom of that off. But I think I'm going to glue it on there first and then cut it away because I really like to. I can usually get it pretty close to 12 inches, but I don't care if it's not straight. So let's just, let's get this on there and then we'll go from there. And I am going to glue it because this is textured. I would do it with tape, but this is textured. And so I nearly always glue when it's textured. Now, before I forget it, let me do a little plug for Ginger's Corner. I'm making these base pages for the all about that base that we do in November. We make 20 base pages, or at least I'm going to try to. I did get it all done last year. I did all 20 of them last year. And we do 20 base pages in 20 days. That's the goal. Now, I'm not sure I can get it all done this year because I'm having puppies at the end of this month. So I'm not sure I can get all 20 of them done, but I'm going to get done what I can. That's the good thing about Ginger's Corner is it's no pressure. If you get 2 or 3 done, you get 2 or 3 done. If you get all 20 of them done, then you get all 20 of them done. And I'm going to do as many as I can. But it's over. If you want to participate in it, you just need to get over on the Facebook group and join Ginger's Corner. It's no big deal to join it, and then you can get in on the hop itself. If you just want to watch it, then in the description box below this, I'll have the link. Now, the actual layouts are not supposed to start until November 1st. We should just be doing our base pages right now. Then November 1st, we start making layouts with our base pages. And, oh, I want this up because I'm putting some stuff under it. I'm getting carried away here talking. So anyway, go over on Ginger's Corner, join Ginger's Corner, or just watch these from the link below. But it is lots and lots and lots of fun. I know Mel's doing it. I know Terry's doing it. Ginger does it. Maybe Kathy, I think, is doing it. Another one from, I think she's also from Australia. But anyway, it's lots of fun. And many, many, many good ideas, good ways to use scraps. I mean, it's neat. So get over there. Do it any way you want to do it, whether you want to become a part of it or and do it yourself, or whether you just want to watch the others. It's one of my favorites. One of my favorites. Okay, I am using these little dinosaurs, and I don't know what I'm going to put on this. I don't have any pictures picked out or anything, but I'm going to use these little dinosaurs, and I'm thinking I may just fussy cut them. If not, I may stick something in under here, but I'm going to use this. I love this with this kind of rusty color, and I'm thinking I'm just going to stick this right in under here somewhere. But I think I want to cut some of it away so that I have a little bit to use in my embellishments. So I'm just going to cut a little bit of it away. Let's keep 2 inches. And I'm going to incorporate, this is like a little diamond. It's teensy tiny, kind of probably looks like a dot to y'all, but it's actually a little diamond in that. It's the back side of this but I didn't want to use that. I want to use this because I like it with the blues in this. And so I've got the oranges, I've got the blues going. I've got a, where did I have? I had a little scrap. I just found that little scrap and this little scrap. So that's got the yellows and even the green. And I mean, I don't even, since the yellow's on with that, I don't even mind. So I'm going to stick these things in with it, but I think I'm actually going to use these. I've got to decide if I'm going to, I'm probably going to ink this. And I think I'll ink it in the blue. Let me get that out. That is Dutch blue. Where's my other blue? And I'm going to have to be careful with this because this is kind of slickish. And I don't want to make a mess. I want that. That's weird. I have a blue called Blue Denim, but I don't see it anymore. Maybe it's over here. Let's see. Sorry, I'm not prepared. Yep, there it is, Blue Denim. Let me find a dauber, and we will get with it. This one will work. Let me go ahead and do the twist while I'm doing a little bit of just inking and gluing, because I've got a twist tonight that I think we need. I need. You may not need it. I need it. The twist tonight, the scripture comes from Psalms 4:8, and it says, "In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety." When I read that psalm, I think it came across I have a little app where I get a daily Bible reading, and I think it came across that. And I thought, oh my goodness, I needed that today. Our world has just gone stark, raving mad. Our world is crazy. It's evil crazy. In my opinion, you may not think so. But, you know, I mean, I get to thinking, well, you listen to everything, and China is just kind of gradually buying us up and taking us over, and we need certain things from them to run everything, and they could shut us off any minute. And the terrorists hate us, and they want us all destroyed, and our violence against each other is just, I think, what blows my mind the most. You know, school shootings and road rage and just shooting people in parking lots, and it can cause lots of anxiety if we allow it to. And I thought, I need that verse. I just need that verse so that I can just breathe and say, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. It does not matter how crazy this world gets. It's just okay, because I can lie down in peace because I am the Lord's. And he says, my peace I give you, not the peace like the world gives you, but I give you my peace. And that is a peace that surpasses all understanding. That's the peace I need in these crazy, crazy times. So that is our twist for today. And I don't know about you, but I needed that twist. Okay, I am also going to ink this one. And when I was looking at my inks, I have this one that's called Autumn Terracotta. And I like it, but I don't think it's quite as rusty colored as I want it. So I'm gonna, whoops, that's the wrong one. No, it's not, that's it. So I am going to probably, I don't know, that's pretty good. I'm probably gonna mix a little bit of vintage photo with it, but we'll just see. This is looking pretty good. I may not need to. But when you don't have the right color of ink, try to remember that you can mix your inks. And I'm going to do it a little bit just to show you. I do this a lot because I want a certain shade of something, and it just isn't, you know, I just don't have it. I don't have an ink that color. And even though I've got a lot of inks, sometimes you just don't have the ink you want. So I like this orange. I thought it was going to be a little bit too light, and it's turning out actually to be okay. But if it was even lighter than what it is now, then I can take like my vintage photo, which is kind of a medium brown, and I can add it to this just lightly, and then that makes my orange seem a little darker. And you might want to put the light brown on first and then put the orange on top of it. Doesn't, just experiment with a little scrap and see what works best. But I like that. I like the way that turned out. Let's get these closed up. These Stampin' Up! Are so hard to close. And this is the old, I mean, close to my heart, not Stampin' Up! And these are the old ones, and they are so hard to operate. Okay, so I want my blue in first. I think I'll keep them all over to the edge. And then the orange, and they're just going to kind of stair step, I think. And the orange, like that. And then that would give me a place maybe for my title. I might even put a picture up here or do an embellishment cluster up there. But I think that is what I want. And I think I'm going to ink this the way I did this. So let's pull these out. And let's go ahead and do that. See that blue? I told you it was a little bit shiny. It doesn't dry. It's hard to dry. So, and I may just go ahead and do it all the way around everything. So let's do the brown first on this one and see how it goes. And I think I'll just go around everything. I really need the brown probably on this orange because the orange itself wouldn't show up on this. But I think I'll put some orange on top of the brown up here on this light color. I don't know what pictures I'm going to use on this yet. I may have, I don't know if I've already scrapped it or not. I know we have one birthday, I think, that had dinosaurs. But I love that dinosaur paper. I don't remember what I used it for. It may have been for that birthday party. And that's just the scraps I have left. I'm going to have to look back and see. I've got to go through and do some checks in my albums and try to get some of them wrapped up. I think I've shown you that before, how I do that to check to see. Have you ever scrapped the same pictures twice? You know, like the same event twice? I have. And then you start to put it in the album and you go, oh yeah, there, oops, that's already in there. So, whoops, I just bent the corner of that down. So I've devised a way to keep from doing that. All right, let's touch this again with the orange. Anyway, I've got to go through those and do that. All right, there's that. Now we're all done. See my finger? If y'all remember, about a year ago, I had trouble with that finger. And what happens is it gets like a kind of a blister back here, but not one that you can puncture and get anything out of. And then it builds up under my nail. And eventually, here on the end of my finger, it'll form a blister and it's a pus pocket that runs all the way up under my nail. And I can puncture it here and it'll explode and, but you can't, it won't do anything back here. I injured it back here a long time ago, and this nail splits. It just has a split and if I don't keep acrylic, like an acrylic nail on it, it will split and hang and hurt. Oh my goodness, it hurts. So I always keep an acrylic nail on it. But when it goes through that stage of getting infected or whatever it does to itself there, then the nail, it separates the nail from the nail bed, and then as I get it wet and everything, it gets water in up into there and it'll form a fungus. Well, it did again. And that process has happened about 3 times over this past year. I'm gonna have to go. I went to my regular doctor, and of course they just put me on antibiotics and said, it'll be fine, take these antibiotics. Well, it's happened now. I didn't go back to the doctor the next time it happened, but it's happened now about 3 times. So I think I'm just gonna skip my regular doctor and go to a hand specialist and let them look at it and see. When the first time that it got infected and did the thing up in under my fingernail, I really thought, because I'd been out pulling weeds, and I really thought, or stickers literally, and I really thought I had probably gotten a sticker there, and that's why it did that. But I haven't got in it, and there may be one in under there, back up in under here somewhere, that keeps getting infected, but I wasn't out there pulling weeds this time when it did it. Okay, let's see if that's anywhere near straight. No, my big girl's got her nose over here. She's wanting to go outside, but I can't take you outside right now. Sorry. Let's see if that is straight. Yep, that's straight enough for me. Okay, but I keep forgetting to put the other one under it before I want to glue it down. Okay, this one I should be able to go ahead and glue down. My 2 big girls, I have Doberman, and my 2 big girls are gonna have babies probably about the 28th or so of this month. They bred like a day apart. So I'm gonna have puppies, 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 and I will be sick tired. So you may not see me. However, I'm totally grounded when they do that. So I am home. So we'll see how it goes, whether I have time to do any videos or not. Okay. That doesn't look straight, but it's measuring straight. Oops, no, this one needs to come up a little. I know I have my hair over in the thing. It's fixed though, so it shouldn't be too bad. Okay. I think that's gonna be that. And then I'm gonna save this and these 2 little things that I just found in the scraps. And I'm gonna put these dinosaurs in there with this, and that's gonna be base page number 1. Base page number 2 is, let me see, I think I've forgotten. Oh yeah. This is actually gonna be a double base page, because let me show you what I have. I'm gonna put this in with that just in case I want to use it in the embellishments. I gotta get my stuff cleaned up here. This, I had these 2 things. Why? I don't know. I don't remember anything about them, but I had these 2 diagonals. So I decided to do a double, and I'm going to do it on both pages. So let's see what we can do. Then I also, let me scoot one out of the way. I had these little burlap border pieces. And I thought, well, that might be kind of cute because I didn't want that brown against brown. And I thought this would be good for my boys with all the brown. So I decided I'd use these little burlap pieces. Well, they're not long enough. Well, this was one piece to start with, and I cut it down the middle. It was just one piece. I cut it down the middle so I'd have for both pages. And I'm just going to run it along this, but I'm going to cut it because I think I'm going to put a thing here in the middle, and that'll cover it, and then I'll have it on both ends. That's the plan, Stan. And I think, you know, that doesn't necessarily, let's see if that's straight. This was just in my scraps, so let's see if it's straight. Yeah, it is. It appears to be. It appears to be. Yep, okay, it's good. It just looked funny. All right, so I am going to clip this so that I can split it. And again, this is textured, so I think I had better use liquid glue. This is pretty lightweight. It would glue to anything with a tape runner, but on this texture, I think we better use liquid adhesive. And I'm not going to put that under, so I can go ahead and glue this edge down. I'm just going to run it along the edge. I need to order some Nuvo. I don't know, I may have another bottle over there. I need to look to be sure. Okay. Let's get this. I'm no telling where I am on screen. Let's get this right in the corner. Well, I tell you, I had one of those days today. Well, it actually kind of started, we'll have to trim that. It actually started yesterday. Yesterday was Sunday, this is Monday. And I'm at church, and I'm sitting, excuse me, in worship service. And I started having this aura on my right side, like visually. And I was like, oh, that's not good, because my right eye is my good eye. And I was like, what in the world is going on? And I was supposed to do a Bible reading. I was thinking, I don't know if I'm going to be able to see to read or not, but I managed to do it. I've never had that prior to a migraine before. And then I got home and I had some things I needed to do, and I was doing them, and I just got this terrible migraine, and it progressed quickly. And I knew, I was afraid when I had that aura thing that something was happening, and sure enough, it did. But normally I have them during my migraines, and I don't have migraines very often anymore. I used to have them all the time, and I rarely have one anymore. I was on medications for several years, and they worked, and I just rarely ever have one. But boy, I did yesterday. And I laid down about 5, and I didn't move until about 10. And then I laid back down and didn't move again till midnight. And ended up having to take a sleeping pill because I'd slept so long, but I did get a lot of rest. So, and I didn't have a headache when I woke up this morning, so thank goodness. But then today, I was just busy and doing stuff all day long. I do some advocacy for some people, and I had a couple of things to do with them today, plus my university observations, and had to take my swap, my Forever Faith swap, to the post office, and all kinds of things. So I got a big day again tomorrow because I didn't get everything done. And this is burlap, but I think we'll be fine with this Nuvo getting, as long as I get plenty of it on there, I think we'll be just fine. Just fine. I've had these little borders a long time, and I haven't, oh, I want this down here. And I've used a few of them, but not very many. This base page hop really gets me into some things that I don't normally use, because I'm not trying to think pictures. I'm not trying to match things to certain pictures. And so I'm just using scraps and some things that I haven't used. And that's one of the reasons why I really like it. And then lo and behold, it seems that they work out. I was really nervous about it last year and was so afraid I wouldn't be able to find pictures and everything, but it just kind of worked out. I had one that I didn't use. I made a couple of extras, and I had one that I didn't use for a long, long time, but I eventually used it. I think I have one more that I made a long time ago before we started doing this hop, and that I need to use. But I didn't have any left over other than those two. Okay, so there's that. And then I've got this orange, and I think I'm just gonna go ahead and put that, because I could probably put 2 pictures here. I could certainly do another one down here, or a title, or whatever, embellishments, whatever. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and commit to that. I like the look of it. I may wish I hadn't, but I think I'm going to. That looks moderately straight. No, it doesn't. I didn't think this piece of paper looked straight, but when I measured it, it was. So let's, aren't you amazed how quickly I'm finding my invisible ruler? I've learned to keep it in my tray thing over here, and it works much better. Okay, I think that is straight. That looks better. Okay, so there's one, and we're just going to do the same thing on the other one. Glue in this, split this, and glue it down. And then I think I'm going to use a green. I didn't have another piece of that orange, but I found some green that I think I'm going to use. And then I might use like orange on the one that has the green to back my pictures, and then use green on the one that has the orange to back the pictures, was kind of what I was thinking. But since I don't know what pictures, I know I have some track pictures. I have grandson's track pictures, and their team color, their school color is orange. So I could do that. And I know I've got some pictures for that. Well, that was a mess. Get down there. And I know I've got some other birthdays that this would be cute for, with all the stripes and everything. Balloons would be cute with this. So I'm not worried. I know it's going to be good. I think I put that one down upside down, but I don't know that you can really tell. It's hard to tell which way, if there even is a right or wrong. All right. Well, stop doing that. There we go. All right, let's trim this one up, and then we'll put the green on it. Oh, I am going to do, we had our craft weekend at church this weekend. We have 3 or 4 of those a year, and I'm in charge of them. And we made it 3 days this time. We've always just done 2 days. We did a 3-day this time. It was a lot of fun, had good participation, and come out. And anyway, I worked on my Christmas cards. And so I'm going to do a video of my Christmas card. I think they turned out really pretty this year. And so I'm going to do a video on my Christmas cards. And then I'm thinking, and if you'll let me know, just in the comments, if you'll let me know, I need to measure this, kind of get them the same size. Let me know if you would like, I do Christmas cards every year. And so I've got quite a few that I could do like a Christmas card share if you wanted me to. Okay, so we're going to do 5 by 8. I could do like a Christmas card share and show you cards from the past. And some of them actually have videos to them. And I could link those videos in if they have one, I could link those videos in the description box. But I know a lot of y'all do some card making, and I don't do a whole lot anymore. I used to do a lot. I don't do a terrible lot, but I do make my Christmas cards still. So if you want me to, just tell me in the comments if you think that's something that you would be interested in seeing. Now, this is also textured, so I for sure have got to put some liquid adhesive on it. But I like this green. Whoa, I just got off on my paper. And I liked the orange, and I thought they'd make pretty good partner pages. And then, like I said, I can use the orange on the other page to back pictures, and I can use on this page to back pictures, and I can use the green on the other page, and I think it'll kind of help tie it all together. So really we're doing 4 base pages instead of 3. Now, I don't have a clue. I'm just going to lay these. Let's see. I don't guess it'll really matter, because I was thinking I would do something like this, but it won't really matter as far as where the thingy goes. And we're just eyeballing it. I'm not measuring it. Okay. I will put the ruler on it to see if it's somewhat straight, but maybe let's do it up here. That's pretty straight. Okay, close enough for me. All right, so that gets us 2 more pages. I know you probably can't see these, but that gets us 2 more pages. So that's 3. And then we're going to do 1 more, and this is going to go in with that. My scraps will go in with that. We are going to do 1 more, and this one, I think I know pictures that I want to go with it. And I've got 2 choices actually. And so I pulled a couple of things that I'm going to keep with it. But I think I have 2 different things with pies in it. I may have already done one of them. I don't know. I think, I don't know. I had 2 or 3 or 4 layouts that the boys had that had pies in them. And so, but I'm pretty sure I've got 1 or 2 of them. I know I have 1 at least, maybe 2 left. But my grandson, my youngest grandson, decided for his birthday one year that he wanted a pumpkin pie instead of a cake. He loves pumpkin pie. And so that's what he had. He had pumpkin pie. So I'll just have to find those. I don't know how many pictures I have or anything, but I've got to find those. And that would be one layout. And then I think I still have a layout to do that has my grandson, his brother, baking a pumpkin pie. I don't think I've done that. I am going to frame this with, this was just a scrap, and I'm just going to frame it. Oh, that's crooked as a dog's hind leg. Okay, I'm going to have to tape it. I think I've shown y'all this trick before. Like when you're cutting something that's too narrow to hold, just use your washi tape and put it where you want it and then tape it down so it can't move on you. That is wider. I didn't get it in the right place. I want it on that line, not that other one. But I use washi tape all the time to tape my things that are too narrow to hold down. Okay, there is another one. And then the other 2 I'll have to trim down because they won't be a full 12 inches. And then one more, and we'll have that done. But I just struggle. I don't use white cardstock very often for a background, but I'm going to use a couple of things that have some white, and so I decided I would use the white cardstock for this. And then I'm going to keep that with it just in case I need it. But I want to I'm just going to make a frame out of these. I would have used a full sheet of paper, you know, and just gutted it, but I had this and it's the color I needed, and it's using up a little scrap. So that's what I did. And sometimes I kind of like having it on top like a frame as opposed to having it coming from underneath. Make sure I get them all on the same side because, again, this is textured. My kids have been gone, and one of my grandsons spent the night with me last night, and he says, "Gummy, that's just too long." They left like, I think, Wednesday or Thursday. Well, I think he didn't leave till Thursday, but I didn't see him that day. And his dad and his brother left on Wednesday, and then he and his mom met him on Thursday. But they went to a church camp out, and he said, "Gummy, that's just too long." I said, "I agree. I don't like going that long without seeing you." And then this is kind of their fall break, and then they didn't have school today, so he got to spend the night with me last night. My daughter and her family are still gone on their camp out, but they go to a different one in Oklahoma. Kind of a Feast of Trumpets. They do a Feast of Trumpets camp out in Oklahoma. Get down there. Okay, one more, and we'll be framed. Sometimes when I'm making layouts or even base pages, I start with different things. I think some people have a real set way of how they do things, and I don't. Now, I do usually start with the pictures. I will admit that. So the base page thing is a little bit out of my comfort zone, but like I said, I did it last year and it worked out just fine. But sometimes I'll start with an embellishment that I just really want to use, an embellishment that I think is so cute, or that I've had a long time that I just want to use, or something like that. And that'll be kind of my inspiration for the layout. Or sometimes I just have a piece of paper I just want to use that piece of paper. Sometimes it might be a title that I have that I just want to use that title. And so I kind of let that be the inspiration for my layout. With base pages, it's usually the paper, like a scrap that I want to use up, or a combination of some things that I've found. And that's usually my inspiration for my base pages. Okay, so I've got it framed, and I kind of like the look of that. I like it being on top instead of coming out from underneath like we usually do, where we gut and just put it on top. This is just I don't know if it's an 8.5 by 11 that I had stuck in there, or whether it is just a scrap from a 12 by 12. I'm not honestly sure. But I want to do something with it because I want to use this pie paper. And I need to cut this down a little. It's got that hole in it. It was in a little 6 by 6 paper pad. But I'm going to cut off a whole row of the pies, which is a little more than what I would have had to, because I might want to fussy cut some of those little pies, just in case. So I want to do something with that. And then I've got this that I really kind of want to use. And I've got this that I want to use. So, and I really think I want to keep a border on everything of this. I don't know if that's a true red, and this is not exactly a true red. And that's more, it's almost like a corally, deep corally red. I don't know if that's even a word, corally. But I think I'm going to trim this to there and then see what that does. Because I'd like to keep a piece of this pie also to use like for an embellishment. So I'm going to cut this right by that heart, and we'll see how that works, if that lines up with our pie pieces. I need a little smaller. I can take that heart off. That's what I need to do, is just take that heart off. I could fussy cut that little heart if I wanted to. Okay, let's see what that does. And then to get those the same length, I think that will work. I'm going to just lay that on top. I may cut that one end off just a little to sort of get the, oh, that may be okay. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to cut that end off just a tiny bit. So let's get our cutter back over here. Get that on there. There's my pie that I can use. This is intense, getting this little bitty piece cut off. Got really quiet. Okay, there we go. Let's try that. And I think I need that on the bottom and our pies above it was sort of what I was thinking. And then this coming out of that. And this blue isn't, I mean, it is that blue on there. It's kind of, it's not real dominant, but I think it's okay. So this is going to go on there. Let's give it the same, about the same amount of border, bottom and sides. Something like that. Okay. It's getting late, I can tell. My dogs are snoring. I'll probably be wanting to go out in a minute. My dogs are so good. They go out. Usually, I end up putting them out about the last time, somewhere around midnight, because I'm a night owl. And then they don't get up till like 9:30 in the morning. Now that my big girls are pregnant, they sometimes have to go out in the night, especially one of them. But my little dog, she can go to bed at midnight, and when I get up at 9 o'clock or so in the morning, she's like, "What are you doing?" I ask her if she wants to go out. She looks at me like I'm crazy. I said, "No, I can stay in bed a little while longer." Okay. Now, I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to do this, because I got to be able to get this piece under there. That's not exactly, oh, this is dangerous. It's still just a hair too long. How did I do that? There, that's better. before that sticks, let's get this glued down. I think I told you that I was doing some advocate work for some people, and they're friends of mine. And he was in a rehab facility here recently, and he came home. I went to their care meetings. I was in on all of it. And anyway, just out of nowhere, they get this bill for $1,600 that because they said he stayed 8 days more than what they would pay. And I'm like, no, we only stayed extra days because y'all did an appeal and he was granted those days. And so I had to order documents, and so I've been peeling through those documents, and sure enough, I found what I needed. And so I called the lady back and drew her attention to that particular document, and it looks like they're gonna come out all right. But I was really starting to get kind of worried that it wasn't gonna work out very well for them. Okay, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I can put a picture on here, I can put a picture here, I can put a picture up here. I've got, if it's the one with the birthday, but I'm not, I don't know, I gotta find the pictures. If it's the one with the birthday, I've got this cute birthday thing that I got in a swap that would be so cute with this. And I'm gonna put it in with this because I'm kind of hoping that it is. And then I found this, which has some good colors, that if I wanted to, I could cut off and stick that in there and do my journaling there. So I'm going to leave that. I am not going to glue this down. Yes, I am. I'm just going to leave it open at the top. And I think I'm going to trim it so that this and this are about the same. They may not be exact, but I'm going to keep them about the same. So and I'm going to keep this little heart. I'm going to keep my pies, all of that, and put in with this so that I have them as embellishments. I think I'm going to take about that much off. That's pretty close. That'll work. So let's glue this down, but we're not going to glue across there so that we can tuck. And I'm not even going to glue all the way up. I can come back and do that. That way, if I want to tuck that little journaling thing under, I can do that. Okay, that'll get us glued enough. Well, that's awfully rough. I don't have my good emery board. I have it in my stuff that I had taken to the craft weekend. Some of these papers are just like rags. And when you cut them, they just are ragged. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And so I'm going to get that out of the way. I'm going to put this in case I decide I want to do that as a journaling block. I'm going to put that in there in case it is the birthday. I'm going to put that little heart that I cut away in there that matches these little hearts. I'm going to put the piece of pie in there. I'm going to put fun in there. And I'm going to put these little pies in there. And I had this in there with it, but I don't think I'm going to keep that. I don't think that's necessary. So anyway, there's that. So there's our 3. And it's actually 4 because one's a double. And I don't know, I think this video got really long, but you're used to long videos with me. So there's that one and that one. And then we have this one that, that we put these things in with. So there are 3 for tonight. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a blessed day. I hope you had a blessed day. I hope you have a blessed day tomorrow, and be a blessing to someone else. Thank you.